Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, I got to tell you about the fabulous, most groovy.
From Hollywood. Welcome to the Rat's Ass Podcast with Mojo Elliott.
And I had 5 homeless people offering to wash my windshield on the way in today, and it cost me a small fortune to get them to stop. I mean, Hollywood, the only place where you have to pay people to not wash your windshield.
Who gives a rat's ass?
From the plush Mojo studio on Sunset and Vine, brace yourself for another unzipped, action-packed adventure.
Let's do it.
Here's what's on tap on the Wrap. America has a very bad habit it needs to kick, and I mean right now. New York City doubles down on stupidity. I've got some hideous news I'll share with you. And Gen Z, I feel your pain, and I'm going to offer you some solutions. Another round of head trauma is on the way. Total Recall is coming up, plus our usual lunacy and loose behavior, including What Say You and Mojo's Fuggin' Funny. That's what's happening today on the Rat's Ass Podcast for Thursday, June 25th. Let's get you all revved up for the weekend, shall we? We are 9 days away from being a 250-year-old nation, all wrinkled up and gray. You know, I was a kid when we turned 200 in 1976, and here we are 50 years later, and we've got people here in the USA enjoying World Cup soccer from other countries who would love to live here, while we have people born in the USA who want to leave. I mean, how screwy is that? Hey, we got some good news for you today. You like good news? I thought you did. Thanks to your emails, we are bringing back Radio Wars in July. So thank you for those emails. We didn't solicit those, and all of a sudden we started seeing people like, hey, why don't you do Radio Wars anymore? Well, we're going to bring it back. This is your show. We try to talk about things that you are interested in, play games you're interested in, talk about people, things you're interested in. So you talk to us, and we try to deliver what you want. And coming this fall, members of Rat Nation will get to take part in our legal Ponzi scheme. Details are coming soon, but you'll have to sign up by the end of September to cash in. All right, go to ratsasspodcast.com, sign up at Rat Nation. Just give us your name, your email address, and where you're from and who you're currently banging. Okay, skip the last part, but that's all we need. And it's all safe and secure just between you and the Rat's Ass Podcast. All right, let's get into the wrap. To start, my thoughts are with all the folks in Venezuela who got hit with 2 horrendous earthquakes yesterday. They were said to be 10 to 15 times stronger than what I felt here in 94 here in L.A., so I know those had to be tremendous shakers. So do me a favor and throw a few prayers their way today, please. Did you see where President Trump is cock-blocking the bipartisan Affordable Homeowners Act until the SAVE Act gets passed? You know, I hate that the president has to play politics with this, but when 82% of all Americans, regardless of party affiliation, want the SAVE Act passed, and we have asshole Democrats and Republicans blocking it and not do the people's work, you know, it's nice to have a president stand up for us and do his job. The Democrats immediately started in with their "it's voter suppression" bullshit. I don't care who you are in this country. You need an ID to take a leak. Okay, so pass the SAVE Act, fellas, ladies, fellas, in D.C., and you'll get your precious affordable homeowners bill passed. But we all know when the government attaches affordable to it, it becomes unaffordable. So there's that. You do know it's okay for someone to not like the same things as you, right? I mean, if you're a Dallas Cowboys fan, I don't have to like the Cowboys to get along with you. I can be a Raiders fan and respect that you like the Cowboys. Sometimes differences make for good friendships. We live in a world today where if you don't have the same thing in common as someone else, they tend to not want to be your friend. They automatically dislike you. But you know, who gives a rat's ass? If I like Seinfeld and you don't, or you like Big Bang Theory and I don't, maybe you like spaghetti and I prefer lasagna. It's goddamn ridiculous. So instead of hating someone because they're not like you, maybe look for things you do have in common. It's called building a friendship, and it starts with one question I'm going to give you. And I want you to write this down or tattoo it on your brain. You ready? What do you like to do for fun? What do you like to do for fun? That's it. Then, because God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth, you shut up and listen for something you have in common. And if you don't, it's all good. You don't take out a knife and stab them, or whip out your weasel and take a leak on their shoes. You walk away and say, hey, I got to go, but it was nice to meet you, and I appreciate the conversation. We got to get friendlier here in the United States of America, folks. Have I ever told you the story about how I met Moose Knuckle Mike and his wife Camel Toe Candy at Zuma Beach? I was sitting on the wall one day at Zuma having a cold one, and I see this guy built like Rocky when he was ripped, jogging with a Dana Perino lookalike with a set of double Ds. And both of them had their shorts pulled up so tight you could see Mike's Moose Knuckle and Candy's Camel Toe from San Francisco. And I'm thinking, who in the hell are these two nuts all tan and glistening in the sun? Suddenly Mike stops and says, "Hey dude, for $20, I'll let you kiss Candy's attitudes right here, right now. That's 10 a kiss." I said, "Excuse me?" And he goes, "You heard me. I saw you checking out my Candy 100 yards away, pal." I looked him in the eye and I said, "How do you know I was checking her out?" Well, they both started laughing, and the next thing you know, we're hanging out at Neptune's Net, smashing fish and chips, drinking cold beer, and talking about how much the three of us loved the movie Roadhouse, and a friendship was born. It was that easy. My first thought was, who are these two nuts? Showing their things off. Now we're good friends. Can't wait to see them on the 4th of July weekend. Did you see where New York City voted for 3 more Democratic socialists, also known as communists, backed by Mayor Mamdani? They're going to run in November's midterm elections. But this is starting to get a little serious, folks. With these Muslims invading our government in an attempt to continue Obama's fundamental transformation of America that he started back in 2008. But this one now should be a warning to those of you who want the United States to remain a Christian, free nation, to wake up and start voting these communists out. They're hiding behind democratic socialism, trying to make it sound sweet, but it's never worked before. Nowhere in the world, but these... I'll try to be polite. These folks think they're going to be the first to make it work. But you got to get them out before it's too late. This is a cancer that's starting to spread in the United States and spreading fast. And if we don't nip it in the bud now, it could become incurable. You dig? Or are you tuning me out still? You know, I've been going to my neighborhood Wendy's that's about a mile from my house for, 27 years, close to that. Now, granted, I don't eat a lot of fast food anymore. And when I do, it's usually Jersey Mike's or In-N-Out with an occasional stop at Wendy's because I love their chili, man. I make a killer chili cheese omelet, and the secret is I use Wendy's chili. Saves time, though, here at home. Thanks to our slumlord Governor Gavin Newsom's $20 minimum wage for fast food workers who cook burgers and fries, my Wendy's closed for good on Monday. It's not sitting well with me because these are jobs that went away, tax revenue that went away for our local community. And where there's less competition, you know the prices are going to go up elsewhere. So I guarantee you the next time I go to In-N-Out, the burgers are going to be $1 or $2 more expensive. That's just business. That's capitalism. That's how it works. But this got me thinking about the other places that have closed in my area since Newsom was elected governor. And it's mind-boggling, okay? You don't really notice it if you're not going there all the time. But check this out. On top of Wendy's, over the last 8 years, Pizza Hut, Dairy Queen, Johnny Rockets, my local Regency movie theaters were leveled. Rite Aid, Amazon Fresh, Cost Plus World Markets, Bed Bath & Beyond, GNC, Islands, Chili's, P.F. Chang's, and 5 locally owned restaurants that used to be packed. You needed reservations to get in, all gone because of Democratic policies. But yet, they continue to get elected, which makes me think again, these elections are rigged, folks, in California. Yeah, we got to get the SAVE Act passed. AI has Gen Z wondering about their future. And I guess they should be because it seems like things are changing faster than we can keep up. I get a lot of Gen Zers are having a hard time finding opportunity when they seek opportunity. But you know what? Here's the deal. Guys, I know there are things that you want to do, and you went to college for a particular profession that may not be available to you. But I understand. I've been in the same position when I was your age. And what I learned was sometimes you have to take the opportunities that exist until your chosen profession catches up with you or you catch up with it. Now, here are the top 5 occupations hiring Gen Z right now. Leisure and hospitality, retail trade, education and health services, professional and business services, construction and manufacturing. A lot of these are service jobs. I know you may not want to do it, but sometimes you have to lower your standards a little bit. But there is opportunity out there. Maybe not the opportunities you're looking for, like I said, but if you want to move out of your parents' basement, Gen Z, lower them damn standards. All right, as you know, I like to scan social media to find interesting perspectives to share with you besides my own. This is Zach Heater, who I found on InstaBitch, sharing his thoughts about liberalism on What Say You?
You think Trump is a fascist, but you're totally okay with someone being murdered for having a different opinion than you or hurting your feelings. You think having a government-issued vaccine ID card is totally acceptable to go into a restaurant to verify you have a vaccine, but you think it's racist to have an ID to vote in elections. You want to vote women into positions of power of government, but you can't even define what a woman is. You're totally okay with giving billions of dollars of weapons to Ukraine, yet you want to take innocent, law-abiding citizens' guns away. You live in America, but it's totally acceptable to have any other country on the planet's flag in your bio, but if you have an American flag in your bio, you're automatically seen as a MAGA white supremacist extremist. You think socialism is the future of the United States, but you can't see that when Trump liberated the people of Venezuela and Cuba, who live in a socialist communist country, they are thanking him by the millions, and you can't even bother to ask someone who's from that country to see why it was such a horrible idea. You're in the streets protesting no kings against Trump, and you're also wishing that Iran wins this war when they are quite literally kings, socialists, communists, who've been wreaking havoc on their country for decades, killing women and gay people for literally no reason.
Ooh, that's a bingo.
Here comes 60 seconds of your life you'll never get back.
Shut up, Alexa.
Here's Mojo Elliott with his spin on sports on the Wrap.
Always digging at me. All right, the USA and Turkey. Some people call it Turkey, some are calling it Turkey. Well, they're going to square off tonight in the World Cup at SoFi Stadium here in L.A. Game time 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. So take a nap, East Coast. The USA is 2-0. Turkey or Turkey is 0-2. Just kick their ass, USA. Have been keeping up with all the trades happening in the NBA. All the ones the outsiders pretending to be insiders never saw coming. Julius Randle is going from Minnesota to Brooklyn. Giannis Antetokounmpo is headed to Miami from Milwaukee. There's also a lot of insider trading happening during the NBA draft this week. But the big news for me is the Lakers are expected to keep Austin Reeves by inking him to a 4-year max deal worth $185 million schmackers. The biggest contract ever for an undrafted player. That's why I like Austin Reeves. He did the hard work. That means the NBA's highest scoring backcourt of Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves rides again next season. Yeah, I know they could trade Austin. I just don't think anybody's going to want to pick up that contract. So I think he's probably locked in with Luka, at least for the next 3 years, maybe 4. Now we're really going to see the rumor mill start firing up before free agent discussions begin on June 30th. And on July 6th at noon Eastern, the official signings can begin. As for the NBA draft, I know it was a deep one, but here's the reality. Only a handful of players will have an immediate impact. Rarely does college play translate to NBA play right away. I mean, occasionally it does. Most times it does not. Teams are drafting players they think have potential, and they take them to develop them their way. So my recommendation is to watch the NBA Summer League. Go if you can. But it'll give you a better idea if the player your team drafted is a game changer. There were 60 players drafted. Keep in mind, they played with guys in college who are now out there somewhere bagging groceries.
Rat's Ass Podcast. Head trauma.
All right, today, the name of the game is Total Recall. I'm going to give you 4 events, and you have to put them in the order they happened, starting first to last. All right, listen up. Mike Tyson gets knocked the fuck out by Buster Douglas. Elon Musk introduces the first Tesla. MTV launches Video Killed the Radio Star from the Buggles. And the movie Amadeus wins 8 Oscars. All right, one more time. Mike Tyson gets knocked the fuck out by Buster Douglas. Elon Musk introduces the first Tesla. MTV launches Video Killed the Radio Star from the Buggles. And the movie Amadeus wins 8 Oscars. All right, cool your tool for a few, and I'll have the answer for you coming up on the Rat's Ass Podcast.
Hey, heads up. Here comes your celebrity cheese.
No, I don't want to do celebrity cheese. I want to do this.
It's time for some loose behavior on the Rat's Ass Podcast.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
You fucked up.
Yeah, I did. All right. Who gets a kick out of hearing Gen X lose their minds over millennials and Gen Z? Yeah, me too. Here is Doug Stanhope on Mojo's Fucking Funny.
This whole fucking generation is so unbelievably sad. If you're just getting to like partying age, you're fucked. There's nothing going on in this country anymore. It's done. Last call. It's just a suck generation. It's the most boring fucking generation in the history of people. It's all dumbed down and watered. When's the last time you heard stories about rock and roll bands chucking TVs out of hotel windows or any of that shit that used to be fun? Like, there was fun in the world. Some of this is gonna make me sound like a grumpy old fuck, and I am, but I have just cause. There's nothing. As people get older, the older you get, the more bitchy you get, because that's just natural. The more you've done shit, the more jaded you get. But I think we're going to be the first generation of old people. As soon as someone gets old, they complain about the new kids. And, oh, these kids today, look, they're crazy. It's always that it used to be always that the new generation was too deviant. These kids are out of control. They're crazy. They're immoral. Look at what they're doing. In our day, if we wanted fun, we just went to a barn dance. And we didn't even finger fuck till we were like 35 years old. But these kids today, it was always that the new generation was over the top, and we're going to be the first generation of elderly people complaining, but in the opposite fashion, where we're going, look at these kids today, these half faggots. We used to do crank off of titty dancers and shit. It was no one got hurt. We had a lot of fun. We got some good stories and herpes out of the deal. It was a fucking good time.
Yeah, I did it again. I was a little early. I was a little premature on that one. Sorry about that. Do you want to hear the latest rumors about the Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce wedding? Yeah, I didn't think so. All right, American Idol judge Lionel Richie, who was 77, got sick on stage and abruptly ended his opening night concert in Minnesota. Now, an inside source said it was diarrhea. You know, when you've got a ginormous ass, having a sense of humor helps. Singer BB Rexa was catching a few rays on a boat in Spain when she suddenly jumped up and dove into the ocean. Soon after, BB was seen doing a breaststroke with a snorkel sticking out of her ass. No, I'm just kidding. But hey, that was a hell of a visual, wasn't it?
That's just about enough of that.
Remember the warm apple pie humping Jason Biggs from the movie American Pie? Well, now it can be told that his ex-wife sent him a text after he moved out telling him that she was having vaginal rejuvenation surgery. And I'm thinking, you know what? If she's carving up that roast beef, baby, maybe there is something to humping a warm apple pie after all. What do you think? I think if you go to the store today and there's no apple pie available, the guys are buying it up. We'll see if it's a sellout. Did you know Reese Witherspoon landed herself a billionaire? His name is Oliver Harmon, 59-year-old private equity investor. So what do you know? Oliver no longer has to masturbate to Legally Blonde. He's getting the real thing, the real deal.
Oh, you're going straight to hell for that one.
Yeah, so you see, money does buy happy endings. And that is a wealthy slice of celebrity cheese for you.
Who gives a rat's ass?
Rat's Ass Podcast. Email from our Gmail.
All right, you can send your questions, comments, and observations to my producer, Fleabag, at ratsasspodcast@gmail.com, and anything goes. The more outrageous and salacious, the better. And it's impossible to offend me, but you're welcome to try your best. Russell D., New Haven, Connecticut. Dude, everything you said would happen to the SpaceX stock is happening. Thanks for stopping me from doing something stupid. Well, you know, SpaceX is doing what all IPOs do, okay? Right now, you're seeing early adopters taking profits, but now, here's something, now you have to look for this. Negative news is out there about SpaceX taking on billions of dollars in debt. So remember, news moves markets. So let the news drive the stock price down, and then you jump in where you feel comfy. Nikki K., Durham, North Carolina. So what really happened in Dallas that made you decide to terminate your travels? Nikki, Dallas was great. I think you're thinking I had something happen in Dallas like I had in Denver. No, Dallas was fantastic. A little too flat for my liking, but after going to San Diego, Phoenix, Tucson, Denver, Carmel, San Francisco, back to San Diego, Palm Springs, and Dallas in 7 weeks. Now imagine taking a vacation, putting up with airports and luggage, hotels and luggage, rental car centers and luggage, and eating good food that's bad for you. Well, you worry about somebody stealing your luggage? Then multiply that by 9. Maybe you'll understand. But there is a damn good chance I'm going to Vegas next month for the NBA Summer League. Again, another thing on the bucket list I've never done and have always wanted to do. So we'll see how it shakes out. Chuck B., Bellevue, Nebraska. Got any tips on how to deal with a difficult boss? Well, having been a boss, let me flip it on you here, Chuck. First thing I would do is ask yourself, is it you that's causing your boss to be difficult? Now, if the honest answer is no, you have 3 options. There's no magical answer to it. You sit down and discuss the situation with your boss and come up with a solution that works for both of you. Or you put up with it, just deal with it. Or you find another job. It's that simple. Kenny Y., Medford, Oregon. Do you honestly expect me and your listeners to believe you have a talking dog and a hotline to God and Satan? It sounds kind of stupid to me. Yes, Kenny, I do. It's called Theater for the Mind, and it's an escape. It's my job. It's an escape from reality. All right, so yeah. As far as you know, I have a talking dog and a hotline to God and Satan. Bryce P. in Del Mar, California. Believe it or not, I agreed with your top 10 rock list. I love all the bands you mentioned except one. Take out the Foo Fighters and add the Rolling Stones. Okay, Bryce, but that means you didn't agree with my top 10 list. Okay, so let me reiterate my point from the last podcast about top 10 lists. Nobody ever agrees with anyone's top 10 lists.
Rat's Ass Podcast. Head trauma.
All right, we're playing Total Recall today. I gave you 4 events, and you had to put them in the order they happened, first to last. Let's review. Mike Tyson gets knocked the fuck out by Buster Douglas. Elon Musk introduces the very first Tesla. It was the Roadster. Remember that one? Cute little car, buzzing around with electric, doing that woo, 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 woo thing when it backs up. MTV launches the video, killed the radio star from the Buggles. And the movie Amadeus wins 8 Oscars. Okay, did you put them in the order correctly? Let's find out. It's MTV, Amadeus, Mike Tyson, and Elon Musk. If that was your guess,
Yeah, baby.
congratulations, you got it right. But if you missed it, go see a doctor about your head trauma, and I hope you get well soon. Okay, speaking of doctors, I'm off to see my doctor for my semi-annual How's Your Father today. But first, is this real or is it riffraff? Did you know if you ate a polar bear's liver, you would die? There is too much vitamin A for human consumption all at once. Alexa, is this real or is it riffraff?
That's disgusting, but it's true. Humans can only handle small amounts of vitamin A
Okay,
at
well,
once.
Okay, but who in their right mind would eat liver of any kind? I mean, it's definitely on my do not eat list.
I hope to God nobody is ever forced to eat your liver.
And why would you say that?
You forget I know who your liver hangs out with.
Oh, God. Okay. Entertain me. Who does my liver hang out with?
Oh, you know Jim Beam, Jack Daniels, Johnny Walker, Captain Morgan, and Don Julio.
Oh, God, you're hallucinating. I only drink Fireball. There's your muzzle. All right, welcome to Rat Nation members. John Furby in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Mark Weintraub in Kansas City, Missouri. Beth Goodyear in Cedar City, Utah. Luke Zuckerman from Palo Alto, California. And around the world to Dubai, United Arab. And oh, God. Fleabag, you didn't spell this right. And I'm not going to pronounce it the way that you write. Maybe I should just for fun. But to the folks in Dubai, Tel Aviv, Israel, and Pago Pago in Samoa. All right, all 3 first-time listeners to the Rat's Ass Podcast. We got to send them some. And thanks for listening in Dubai, Tel Aviv, and Pago Pago. We appreciate you listening to the Rat's Ass Podcast.
Now's your chance to be one of the few and the loud. Join Rat Nation at ratsasspodcast.com. Membership does have its rewards, you know.
By the way, it's pronounced Emirates, okay? Not the way Fleabag wrote it. Emerald writes. My God, Fleabag. All right, that's a wrap for this episode of the Rat's Ass Podcast. Go to ratsasspodcast.com to visit our hub and listen to previous episodes. Read the blog. It's loaded with lots of hot topicality. Watch Rat's Ass Rock TV. Join the mischief at Rat Nation and connect with us on the socials. We'll do this again on Monday, June 29th. Take care of each other, and thanks for stopping by. The Rat's Ass Podcast in partnership with the Oz Podcast Group.
The conversation continues between podcasts on X and ratsasspodcast.com. ratsasspodcast.com.